Welcome. This is an actual play of a role-playing game. All the participants are adults. The content is intended for adult viewers. We strive to keep the content PG to PG-13, but it is a horror story and may contain horror themes. Viewer discretion is advised. Enjoy.
Well, howdy, friends and floorheads. The episode you thought never would happen. Life is not getting in the way tonight. And hopefully it'll be a full episode. I honestly can't promise you that, Zoe, because we left things in a terrible place. But before we get started, before I do a quick recap, because it's been a little while, I do like to just ask a random question, which is, and I do this of all the people on the stream.
Mhm.
Have you, in any time in the recent past, won a major award from a major RPG publisher? Yes or no is
I
fine.
I wouldn't know at all. I would have no idea about that.
What happened?
No idea. For those of you who do not know, the Crit Awards are a award ceremony that is held during Gen Con, and it's for TTRPG community, not just players and GMs, but musicians and creators and publishers and all sorts of wonderful people. And I was nominated as best GM in the Chaosium category, and I won.
So cool. So cool. And what I think is cool about it is it wasn't for Call of Cthulhu. It was for a
Nope.
lesser known, or not lesser known, but a less popular.
Less popular, yeah. We know that everybody knows that Call of Cthulhu is Chaosium's cash cow, but the up and coming underdog is Seventh Sea, and that is what I won the award for. I run a podcast called The Writer's Room, where it's an actual play dramatization of the game Seventh Sea set in my world with my players, and I also teach the game. So
And if you want to see it played, you can not only go to the writer's room, but you can also go to this channel. Go to the Seventh Sea playlist. And Zoe led two of her patrons, myself, and the creator of the game, John Wick, through the game.
mhm.
All right. So enough of that.
Anyway, not
We
that
got
John Wick.
okay, all right, we got some shit going on.
Yeah, we do.
So I'm not going to give the full recap. Essentially, you have found out that one of the vampire hunters is being held captive and held hostage in the warehouse district. And the deal is if you complied to this other vampire's desires, they would release this person. And you did not do such, but you decided we need to get to this warehouse and potentially save this Father Loretti. You get to the warehouse, you do some poking around, you figure out this rose water concoction that apparently is keeping you outside of the thrall status was made here by these vampire hunters. Your danger sense goes off. The last room in the office area of this warehouse, you put your ear to the door, you realize you hear some voices behind there. You know bad things are going on. Now, normally one might open the door and throw the flashbang in there, closing the door and letting it work. But we find out that poor Layla is one who's seat of your pants? Well,
It
how would we describe
it
this
says
impulsiveness?
it says in my drive, it says, nowhere else to go, and, that means I have nothing to lose.
So we ended last episode with you throwing the door open, sliding the flashbang and yourself into this room, and you had no idea what was there. So the first thing is I need to figure out how six because you made it very clear. I want to take in the room before I cover my eyes and protect myself from this flashbang. I want to know
Mhm,
what's in here. So
mhm.
we have you sliding in, the flashbang is about to pop, and I know I need you to test. And I think I want you to test against your explosives.
Okay.
So let's open up your character sheet. What do you have in explosives?
I
It should be under
have
general abilities, I think.
a boop boop boo doo doo. Explosives. Explosive devices.
Mhm.
I have 4.
All right. So this is going to be a difficulty 5. So you're going to be rolling a d6 on a
Okay.
5 or a 6.
Mhm,
You're able to time this perfectly. Be able to know when that flashbang is going to flash,
mhm.
catch a view of the room before you cover your eyes and protect yourself. So you'd roll a d6. On a 5 and a 6, you're good. On a 1, 2, 3, or 4, you fail. But how many points do you have in explosive devices?
I have 4.
All right. So you can spend points to add a +1 to this roll. Do you wish to spend?
I'm gonna spend 3.
That it might be a good
This
idea.
seems very important,
I
but I'm gonna
agree.
save 1 just in case, because you know how these missions go. There's probably a bomb somewhere in this building.
All right, so let's spend 3
Alright.
and let's give that roll at a
Uh,
+3. Oh,
hey! That is a
so we
6.
got to reward this. You slide a 9. You slide in. Great way to start this.
Oh, yeah.
The momentum of your run as you broke through this door. I'm imagining you like into home base sliding. You've
Mhm.
got your gun in your hand. You've like a hockey puck thrown this flashbang and it's spinning. And you know you might have a second and a half. The noise of the door shocks everybody in the room. They don't even know what's coming. You see 2 gentlemen standing next to another older man in all black with a small white collar. He's tied up. There's a man who is, you would guess, young, maybe early 20s. He's got a peaky hat, a blinder's hat on.
Mhm.
He's got a vest with a kind of a loose fitted dress shirt. Other guy has got a skull cap on and looks like a young, handsome Hugh Laurie, stubble, bit of a heavier jacket. You can see they are both armed with pistols. Not enough time to be able to say exactly what kind of pistols they are, but comparable to what you're carrying. You can see them turning to face the noise that you created when you broke through this door, and the flashbang goes off. So the first thing I need to do is I need to test our 2 gentlemen against this flashbang. So give me just a moment.
Mhm. I think as I'm sliding in and the first thing I see is the man with the collar, I'm like, "Avert thy eyes, vicar!"
So our first health test, this is against an 8, and he failed by 4, so he is out for 4
Ha!
rounds. Our second one, same thing. Failed by even more. So he failed by he's out for 7 rounds. You have got a lot of time. You've got at least
Woo!
3 or 4 seconds before these guys have any idea what's going on. The flashbang goes off. You hear it. Your head is covered. You
Mhm.
know, you can smell it, right? That sulfur smell that fills the
Yep.
room. As you pull away, you can see that the impact or maybe one of these guys has knocked this father over. So his chair has fallen over. He's still tied.
Mhm.
You can tell by his face that he's been hit. The
Ugh.
other 2 men are there and they've covered their eyes and you're sliding on the floor.
Alright. Well, I have a perfect angle to do headshots. So just pop, pop. I'm just gonna take these guys out.
You have no trouble making both of those shots. So let's go ahead and do that. This is going to be a point blank range. So I want to go ahead and give you a +1. What do you have in shooting?
In shooting, I've got 7, but I only have 3 left.
Okay. Do you
Uh,
want to spend any of those
yeah, you know
three?
what? Do I need to spend for each, or is this
This will
one
be a
roll?
shot for each.
Okay.
And to give you an idea, pretty typical hit threshold. This is point blank range, though. They have no cover, so their hit threshold is gonna go down by 1. So you're gonna
Mhm.
need a 3 or better to hit them. But I'm
Okay.
giving you an additional +1 on top of that. So
Okay.
on a 1 or a 2, you're gonna fail.
You know what? Let's do a blank roll for the first one.
Okay.
That's a 4. We
That's a
hit.
success. Let's go ahead
Let's.
and do a D6 +1 for damage.
Yep. Uh, just roll a d6 down here in the
Yeah,
in the
sure.
roll button.
Yep.
Boop.
Well, actually, I
Boo.
lied. It's gonna be +4.
Oh, +4. Okay,
So that's gonna be a
let's
5. So you're
5.
good.
Yeah. Okay, and then
Our second.
let's. You know what? I don't want to mess this up. I'm gonna add 1 to this.
Hmm.
Boom! Look at that, a 3.
All right, let's get that D6
That
+4.
d6 plus 4. That is 8.
All right. So I want you to describe this for me. You slide in,
Mhm.
you take in the situation,
Yep. Boom,
you shoot.
boom.
Did you shoot the younger one or the older one first?
Older one first.
So
He's more experienced.
you're going to take out the older one.
Mhm.
You're going to severely hurt the younger one. So what?
All right.
Walk me through it.
All right. So the older one, I know he's experienced. He knows what he's doing. I need to take him out immediately. I aim, hit right under the chin. Boom, gone.
Brains everywhere. Yep.
Everywhere. It's nasty. I then look over to the younger one. He is quicker because he has, he can recover better, but he is a little bit erratic. And as I'm trying to do the same shot, he moves, and I get him in the jugular instead of the head. So it's a neck shot instead.
Yeah, and he immediately grabs for his neck. His eyes are still, you can just see him blinking, trying
Mhm.
to taper off the white that is
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
all he can see, right? He steps back, he's got his gun, he's like this. You have got one more round before he really has any chance of being able to react to you. So you can see the blood pouring through his fingers.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that I was sliding towards that guy,
Perfect.
and I'm just gonna sweep my leg, knock him on the floor, lay down next to him, and when he opens his eyes and he's clear, I'm like, "Good night," and then take
Okay.
him out.
No rolls needed, right? So you take out his legs, he falls, back of his head goes up on the floor,
Mhm.
his blinder hat comes off. He's finally comes to and just
Good night, love.
yeah,
Boom.
sees the barrel of the gun, and that's the
That's
last
it.
thing he
That's
sees.
the last thing.
The man on the floor, on his side, older gentleman, possibly late 70s. He
Mhm.
is starting to blink. You get a sense that maybe he is starting to come to. The glasses he was wearing are broken on the floor at this point, and in a very thick Hungarian accent, he's the who's there?
Oh, just your friendly neighborhood agent.
Le- Layla.
That's me. How you doing, father? I'm so sorry about that. I
You
come over and I'm helping him out of the chair.
so you start to untie him, and he's looking at you with surprise, and he goes, "You're you're alive.
In the flesh, yes. For now.
Where's the doctor? Did the doctor bring you back?"
Oh, well, um the doctor, just really quickly remind me, the doctor is the one that got shot in
Is
the
in the
van,
van.
unfortunately. Okay, yeah. Um yes, and unfortunately the doctor is no longer with us. Um some loose ends, you see. And she makes the sign of the cross. uh
How
unties him.
is your time? How are you feeling? Is the water working still?
Oh, yes, the water's working great. In fact, I need a refill, so this is wonderful.
So you start to untie him,
Mhm.
and you're kind of anticipating him to be helping you a little bit,
A little bit,
and, and
yeah.
he's really not.
Mm.
I don't know if it's an age thing or what's happening here, but once you kind of get him untied and start to help him up, you look at your hand as you've helped him up, and it's soaked in blood,
Ah, fuck.
and you realize that he has got a huge gash on his side. And
Oof.
he goes, We you need to find her.
Find who?
You got to find Rostami.
Rostami. Okay.
Yes,
All
Rostami.
right.
She
Okay. Deep breaths. Deep breaths, father. Deep breaths.
she
I'm
had,
putting pressure on the wound just to stave it at least a
and
little bit.
and you can tell, yeah, you're slowing it down, but this is the end.
He's gonna bleed
Yeah,
out.
this is the
Yeah.
end, and it's as much as age as the wound. If he was
Mhm.
younger, maybe.
Yeah.
You don't remember Rostami. Rostami,
Mhm.
she's the one that recruited the doctor and myself.
Okay.
She is the one who put this all together to free you.
Okay.
They don't have her. She's gone to the wind.
Okay.
You have to find her. She she may be looking for you. I don't know. She may have already. I don't know.
Okay. All right. All right.
Look at me. Look at me.
I'm looking right at
Shh.
you,
She
father.
has the cross
She has the
that will
cross.
save you. They call her Veil Walker,
Veil Walker. All right. All right. I'll find her. I'll find her. You rest.
and
You
he
rest.
does.
She
He
closes his
does.
eyes and makes the sign of the cross and takes out of her pocket, realizes, oh shit, I don't have any of that. Checks the guy's pockets. Um the younger guy doesn't have any, but the older guy does. He's got some change in his pockets. And
Mhm.
so I'm gonna take two the equivalent of like pennies and put them on his eyes. And just cover him with that guy's coat, I guess. Ugh.
And it's a quiet moment.
Mhm.
Um, we only can get so used to death. And
Yeah.
this is, you've seen it many times. You've been the cause of it many times.
Yep.
But here you have a moment, right? Here you have some time. You you know this man, but you today, right now, don't know this man. But this man has
Yeah.
obviously lost his life in this attempt to save yours and to free you. And this Rostami person that he talked about, this Veil Walker, apparently was the ringleader of these vampire hunters. And because it's so quiet, because you swept this warehouse, knew that this was the only room left, the only place where there was somebody, that allows you to hear the fact that there are footsteps back down the hall in the main warehouse itself.
Yeah, I think she's kneeling on her knees next to the body, just in quiet contemplation and semi prayer, just hoping that he didn't suffer too much and that he accomplished everything that he needed to, and thanking him, even though I can't really remember. I know that I will eventually,
Yeah.
and that I will do him a better justice when I do. But for now, this is all I've got. And I kind of kiss my fingers and put it on his forehead, and then take a deep breath, check my weapon, see how many bullets I have left. Um,
How many? That's a good question. Let's take a
I
quick look at
have
that,
uh,
Sitch.
if I'm using the gun that I started with,
Yep.
I have, I think, a clip of 10 silver bullets, and then I just fired 2.
Yep.
Technically, I fired 3 because of Sinclair. Um,
So I think
So
you have 7 in your
I'm
current clip.
7. And then I don't have my stash with me. Kind of had to I had to book it, Smokey. So yeah, I'm gonna loot I'm gonna loot the bodies. I'm gonna take their
Yeah,
pistols.
and those are 9 millimeters as well that
All
they
right,
were
cool.
holding. So yeah, let's go ahead and you'll have 2 extra clips. We'll just remember that.
Love that.
And you can go ahead and fill up the clip that's in your current gun. So let's leave it right at 10.
Cool.
And you hear
Normal bullets or silver bullets?
the all normal bullets.
Okay. All right. 2 9 mils full clips.
You didn't even give them a chance to shoot their guns.
Nope. I work efficiently. All right, so we got footsteps.
We do, and this again, and this is something for those of you watching. You're going to notice me do this a lot with Zoe in this game, and the reason is Layla is a super spy, right? If Layla was just a schmo, I'd make her roll for a lot of this stuff. But this is, even though she has not had her full memories coming back, instinct is still instinct, and she knew this place was empty. She hears the footsteps. You take a moment. There's 3 of them. There's 3 people in the warehouse.
Are they walking as though they just heard gunshots, or are they walking as if it's a normal day at the warehouse?
No, they seem like that they are walking with purpose.
Hmm. So they might know I'm here, or they're after the vicar. Shame. Shame that. Uh, what's the rafter situation look like?
So it's a completely open rafter situation. So you are up on, which is technically the second floor, but it's effectively like the 4th floor, right? Because you've got a
Mhm.
good 40 feet
Yep.
down to the actual warehouse itself, and
Mhm.
there's an entire landing area and catwalk.
All right. I think yeah, let's do some super spy stuff. I might have just reloaded and I might have 2 more guns, but they could be packing more heat than I'm ready for, and they could be ready for a bigger fight. Uh, so I'm going to dip, go underneath the catwalk, and climb my way back.
All right, so you get to the edge of the catwalk and you're looking down, and if you remember, the lights were on in this warehouse when you came in. There was
Mhm.
those hanging fluorescent lights.
Yeah.
It's very easy for you to stay hidden in this scenario. It's really difficult for them to get any sense of what's happening 40 feet above them. They are headed towards the stairwell that you used to get up there.
Mhm.
You spot all 3 of them. 3 men. One's in a hoodie. All 3 of them have heavy jackets on. One is completely bald. All 3 of them you recognize from the hospital. So these are part of Sinclair's crew. Different than
Okay.
Stokovich, which is the crew that you just eliminated.
Mhm.
And they do have AR-15s.
My instinct is so good. Yep, we're just gonna nope, see you later. Goodbye.
So are we gonna attempt to climb across the
Yeah,
rafters and then get ourselves down to get back out
uh
the same door? Or are we gonna look for a back door? What are we doing right now?
we are gonna look for a back door. And yeah, go the rafter route. Fuck stairs.
Yeah, and I don't know if you're gonna have to go the rafter route. You have got the high ground. We're gonna
I
assume that
have
there was
high ground.
some building code at some point in Hungary when this warehouse was built.
Sure.
So, but I will need a roll to see just how much time it takes for you to find the
Back
back.
door.
Yeah, so let's take
Sure.
a look at your skills here. And how do you feel about infiltration?
Ooh, I like that a lot.
In my mind, infiltration is used to get into a place, to be able to stake out a place and understand a place. I'm going to use the same thing for getting the hell out of here. I'm going
Yep,
to make
that
this difficulty 3. They don't know for sure you're in here. You can tell by the way they're walking for purpose, and they're you don't even know if they've heard the gunshots.
Mhm.
So if you can give me a difficulty 3, we're gonna get you the hell out of here.
Okay. Let's I
Spending any
have
points?
Yeah, I have 8 points in there. I'm gonna spend 3.
Okay, you don't even need to roll. Just spend the 3. You're
Boom.
guaranteed to get out.
Here we go.
What's that look like? As they are headed up the stairwell,
Mhm.
you're finding a second stairwell, and you're getting out the back door.
Yeah, this is the fire exit. So yes, this building was made to code, to the point where it has the exit signs. It's got the little person that's like with the arrow and everything, but it's not quite lit up for some reason. Whether like the fluorescent light is out or finicky, or maybe this part of the warehouse isn't really used a lot. But for my purposes, this is great because I walk over to the door. I see that it has the fire alarm bar on it, that if you open this door, it's going to set the alarm off. I have open sesame, so I'm just going to disarm that immediately and slip right out.
And you're quick. You wanna take a breath, you wanna take a moment to take it in, you're not gonna do it
I
here.
don't have time.
So let's have you go about a half a block away before you pause. And I want to kinda get into your head a little bit here, Layla,
Mhm.
because you have had an unbelievable 36 hours, 48 hours. You've discovered that you used to be a thrall of someone who calls themselves Djokovic, that is a vampire. The fact that vampires exist doesn't surprise you, which leads you to believe that you've known this before your amnesia. You find out there's another vampire in play here, this Carlisle, that was trying to get its hands on you, that was being portrayed by one of his thralls as a better master, and that Djokovic is this archaic, violent one, and Carlisle's this sophisticated vampire. So you know you're under the the spell and not free of this yet. This Rosewater is what's maintaining it for you. Of one, you've got this other one that seems to be pursuing you. You've got these vampire hunters, 2 of which are dead. Their leader is somewhere in the wind. This Veil hunter, Rossetti. I need to understand what the hell Layla's gonna do now. Now that you take a breath, morning is about 3 hours away.
Mhm.
You're in a city that right now is unfamiliar to you, yet you know all the streets. You know all the places. You've had a safe house here. You've had Sam here. You've lived here and you've been here for a while. How are we going to find this woman?
Oh. All right, Layla. Deep breath now. In and out, and in and out. And your partner is dead, and the father is dead, and the doctor is dead, and a lot of people are dead tonight. And it's not even Tuesday. Love that for us. Yes. Haven't had coffee, haven't had tea. Oh, rose water. Right. Thank you, Layla. Drinks the rose water, takes her sip, uh, puts it away. Um, oh, let's see. Rastami. Rastami. I take out my phone, my burner phone that I
Hmm.
had Sam retrace that number. And I know, at least my notes say that that is from Rastami. Like, that message was from Rastami, and so, the easiest way and the most accessible way right now for me to find this Rastami is to message this number, and hopefully, I'll get a response. Um,
What are we going to send her?
so, she types a message and then deletes it, and then types a message and then deletes it, and then looks at the message, it's got a bunch of emojis, deletes that, like, it's like, ah, God. Oh, I wonder if she's actually she? I don't mean to gender. I wonder if
Somehow
they
you knew it was a she,
okay,
right?
alright,
So the
mhm,
name just and again, it's one of those situations where
It's
Layla,
like
you don't
right on the tip of my tongue.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's oh, yeah, and, um, as you're typing those out, the one thing I have a question about is he tells you this Rostami, the woman who sent you this text message way back when in the
Mhm.
hospital, potentially saved your life there as well.
Yeah.
What is why did he call her Veil Hunter? What does that mean to Layla?
Boy.
Does she this is it a code name? What is that? Does Layla have any sense?
It could be a code name. That wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility, especially in our line of work. Uh, Layla didn't have a code name because she wasn't in MI6 long enough to get one.
Mm,
Sinclair called her a code name, but that's like a personal interpersonal thing. Um, and Veil Hunter, Veil Hunter, VH. Could I make like a
tell me what you want. We'll decide if there's a role. What are you trying to
I
figure out?
I would love to try and think on that code name. See if I can remember anything from MI6, see if there was anything relating to that.
Mhm.
Um just kind of maybe somewhere in like a file folder somewhere in my head, like it
I'm
was
with
like
you.
mentioned and locked away somewhere. So I'm gonna try and unlock a memory and
So
see if it's attached to something.
I want you to lean in on your experience before all this shit went down,
Mhm.
before you got pulled into this vampire conspiracy, before all of that. So if you want to spend a point in tradecraft, I've got some information for you.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
So for
Let's do
those of you watching real quick, this is a gumshoe system, which means that investigative skills are a spend. They're a resource that Layla has. There's nothing hidden behind roles in the gumshoe system. It's Robin Laws' solution to you need to give information to your players, but you don't want them to roll. So it's resource management as opposed to leaving it to chance. As you're typing, deleting, typing, and deleting, that's when Veil Hunter scratches the back of your head again. And with the tradecraft, this father is not a spy. This father was recruited. You think about the doctor. This doctor was not a spy, right? Was not in the same business,
that.
right?
Mhm.
Coordinating this though to get you free of Djokovic, to coordinate all of this, the warehouse, the board you saw when you went into the warehouse, remember
Mhm.
in the kitchen that was repurposed.
Yep.
This Rostami woman is in the business.
Mm.
That makes sense to you now that you're starting to think about this. It also makes sense that she would have a name, a code name that she would share potentially. And with your tradecraft, the only reason why she would share that with the father is to remind you. It means nothing to the father, but she knows that by you knowing she had a code name, that you would know she is part of the business. So that suddenly for you opens things up completely. And I think would impact how you would message her because she, current spy, former spy, but familiar in the world of espionage. Does that help?
Great. That helps a lot. It kind of like she's sitting there looking at the text message, and then it kind of like clicks, and she's like, "Oh," deletes it, and then writes, um, "Hello, love," capital L. Um, Sorry I missed you for tea. I hoped we could catch up at coordinates here. Um, some local, maybe like offshoot, because even though I don't know Budapest, I know
Hmm.
Budapest. So, like, there's, like, a weird cafe that's, like, you gotta go through the bazaar, up through the thing, around the alleyway, like, it is a secret, like, place that only, us agents know about, that we use all the time, um, and, I word this message as, like, a friendly little, "Hey, sorry I missed you. Do you mind if we meet up for tea in a few hours, blah, blah, blah. I'll see you there." Like,
Like
it's
bridesmaids.
right. Oh my god, squad goals. And like, with like several emojis like
Yep.
next to it and hit send. However, there are certain letters that are capitalized
Hmm.
and a few of the emojis actually mean something. Not just like what their internet meaning is or what their urban dictionary is.
Right.
We've coded the emojis to actually be like secret
I,
codes.
l- I absolutely love that. So
So there's like several little black hearts and like an explosion emoji and like a big face and that basically means I'm in so much trouble, please come find me, I'll be here.
some random like flag from a country in Africa
Yeah.
nobody knows about.
Yes.
So you see the three dots of somebody typing,
Hmm.
and it was immediate. Send, half a second, dot, dot,
Yep.
dot, dot,
Yep.
dot, dot. Someone's typing.
Mhm.
It comes back and goes and says, "So good to hear from you. I have plans tonight. Why don't I catch up with you next month?" And then the message ends. But then
Mhm.
there's dot, dot, dot,
Mhm.
dot, dot, dot. You asked me about Neplicate Park, and I found out that the pigeons are hungry. So I know you love to feed pigeons. You should go there tomorrow.
I reply with some pigeon emojis, some birds, and then I I send a coded message that I forget that only Sinclair maybe knows this.
Ooh.
There's like a little secret code that we say to each other, and I send the birds aren't real, silly, and then I look at the message and go, ah, fuck. She's not going to understand that.
Dot, 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 typing back. Sorry about missing your birthday, which makes no sense to you, but the emojis after that tell you, what the fuck did you just say?
What?
like, wha-
What the fuck?
right.
What
So
is this?
the emojis tell you, I did not understand your last
I
message.
didn't understand any of that. The sorry I missed your birthday is so sorry. Don't couldn't get that message. And then the emojis are like, what the fuck? Layla, what the shit does that mean? I send oh, don't worry, Sinclair got me a gift and it was really wonderful, thank you for suggesting it, blah 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 blah. Basically the emojis then say like hey, my partner is dead, I'm alone, I can meet you here, um but I don't have a lot of time. So it's like a picture of a building and then like the T emoji and then like the clock emoji like
So the only thing you get back is a single emoji, and
Mhm.
it's of a slice of bread.
A slice of bread.
I think in reference to the pigeons, maybe.
Feed the birds.
So this
All
park
right.
she mentioned, this Nepligate Park,
Mhm.
again, I don't know how you know this, but you know this. And if somebody asked you, is there any good parks? You'd be like, yeah, but you hear the name and you know this is a large park in the southern part of Budapest, lots of benches. And one of the things it's known for is the old men love to feed the pigeons
Mhm.
in this park.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna need some bread and I'm gonna head to the park.
So, and we can do that,
Mhm.
but it's going to be at a cost
Oh
because
boy.
I do think at this point we're getting it very, very close to the end of Layla's gas tank. I think at this
Yeah.
point you have been up for a long time. You've been doing a lot. You've killed a few. You've escaped from a few. I'm just a little worried about your energy level. I'm not
Mhm.
saying no, but I'm saying if you go there now, you're running on empty.
Oh boy. Yeah, I think like she like closes the phone and puts it in her pocket and like starts to head in the direction and then realizes very quickly that she's moving a lot slower than she actually is. Um realizes that maybe maybe not. Right. Sam's place is that way, a very long way away. You haven't eaten in a while. I look over at a dumpster. Just well, I've had worse, and flip over the dumpster. Look in. Yeah, all right. Um, has never been my style, but sure. And I climb the dumpster and then close it, and I'm spend the night, spend the morning at least, eating whatever non-rotten food is in there that is gonna sustain me for what I need, and take a little dumpster nap.
You don't remember falling asleep, but you are awoken and startled. The fact that you're startled tells you got some sleep. You have no
Mm.
sense. It's dark. You have no sense, but you hear a large truck and the dumpster starting to
Oh,
shake.
oh, gotta go.
You
As as it like tilts to flip open, she like flips herself and like is on top of the dumpster and then jumps on the truck and then jumps onto the roof of a building and it's just like, whoo, that was
the
close. I was almost pressed Layla.
the orange of the sunrise is still in the sky. The brightness of it strikes you for a second. You roll off the garbage truck. You've got two gentlemen hanging on the sides of the garbage truck that give you a look like
Hello.
maybe I've seen bodies come out of the dumpsters before, but not walk away when it's done. And you head off, pulling some random used sandwich cellophane off of your clothing as you
I
go.
smell great. And there definitely was a nub of bread in there. So I've got bread.
But you are refreshed. So let's go ahead and go to your character sheet real quick.
All right.
And let's do this real quick. Go ahead and do a 24-hour refresh. This would be a button in the upper left-hand corner, and that's going to restore some points for you to spend.
Ray.
And are we headed to Nepelgate Park, better known as People's Park?
We are headed to the People's Park.
Now, the one thing I would like to do, if you're okay with this, you're
Go
two-thirds of the
on.
way there, navigating through, kind of pulling garbage out of your pocket, and you pull out of your pocket a wad of cash.
Ooh.
And I think it all finally pieces together like, fuck, I could have gotten a hotel last night. But you put the cash back in your pocket. You cut yourself a break, considering everything that's been happening.
I was so tired. I was so tired. It's fine. It's fine. Sinclair would have laughed.
But if you want to treat yourself to a quick on-the-go breakfast on the way, I think that
Oh,
you can do
I am
that.
getting the biggest espresso I could possibly get myself.
You get to the park, and it's familiar. And as it's known for, there's several brick walkways that just wind through this park. beautiful trees, and just like pepper on water, these spots of old men sitting at different benches, each with their what appears to be their own little fan club of pigeons that have come to have breakfast.
Mhm.
As you look out across, no spend here, nothing stands out. There's people jogging, people sipping coffee on tables across the street from cafes that have a view of the park. Danger sense isn't going off. It looks like just a normal weekday morning at sunrise here in Budapest at People's Park.
Mhm. Entirely normal. Completely normal. And here I am covered in garbage. Love it. I'm going to find an empty park bench.
And you do, you find an empty park bench. They're spaced far enough away from each other that nobody, everybody's within eye line of you, but nobody could hear you if you're talking to yourself, if you were to talk to somebody there. The occasional pigeon comes by, realizes you've got nothing to offer, and moves on.
I have bread.
Oh, did you take some bread out of the dumpster?
It's some stale like uh uh pita or something like that.
It's like a
Uh
pastry or something.
yeah, it's like, little flakes here and there.
And so you do have a few strays. Now there's a lot of committed
Oh,
pigeons.
I'm not here to take their to nick their turf or anything like
And what you
that.
have. So you're by no means are you building the crowd that the regulars have, but you start throwing to the pigeons. A group of children started to approach you. Their ages range from maybe the youngest might be 4, 4.5, 5-ish. The oldest might be preteen, 11, 10, 12. There's about 8 of them. They're coming towards you. Their dress is a mismatch. Um, they're wearing what they could find. You can tell that immediately.
Mhm.
And they definitely have spotted you and they're headed in your direction.
Okay. I'm just going to continue to feed the birds, singing a wonderful song. Just going about my business.
As they come closer, they start to spread out a little bit, but they're still a pack of
Mhm.
about 8 kids. The oldest one is a girl. Like again, she's definitely preteen. She could be 10, she could be 12. It's really hard to tell. She, with a better life, probably would be a stunning child, a
Mm.
very handsome child, but she's worn. She's been through things. You can tell by looking at her face.
Mhm.
She comes up and she says to you in Hungarian, but you understand it. Madame, would you like to buy some flowers, some jewelry? I have pretty things. And she opens up this ragtag sewn cloak of hers, and you can see immediately cheap knockoff jewelry and watches.
Mhm. Mhm.
I have
Uh,
pretty things for you.
yeah. She just continues to sing this little song, but uh she'll throw a little bit of bread, and then out of her pocket she'll take like the equivalent of like maybe like a dollar in Hungarian cash, and hand it to each of the children.
So you get their attention.
Mhm.
Um, and ooh, I am going to need a sense trouble roll.
Okay, here we
You're gonna need a
go.
sense trouble roll. It's gonna be difficulty 4.
Oh Boy, I hate it when they use children. Feed the birds tuppence a bag. I'm
Very
gonna
good.
add 3 to this.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Mhm.
No need to roll then. That's a guarantee. So
Yeah.
just spend the 3.
Boop.
It's a good thing you spent the 3.
It's a very good thing I spent that 3, y'all. I rolled a 1.
You you don't remember being swarmed before, but this is familiar to you. There is a ruse happening here.
Mhm.
There the you only see 5 of them now as this little girl is talking to you and you're handing out money. And you look down to your left and you look down to your right, and there's little hands that are reaching into pockets. And had you not looked, you never would have felt
Mhm.
these little hands reaching into pockets.
I think not to, 'cause when you point out the ruse, when you point out that they're doing something bad, they immediately deny, and then they swarm you, and then that's a bad time. So she continues to do what she's doing by singing this little song and feeding the pigeons. But when she goes to reach for the bread, she actually slaps the hand just extremely sharp. She's got nails, so it's this quick little jolt. It's like, I know what you're doing. If you come any closer, I will hurt you.
So you slap, and it's a one of the younger boys. He
Mhm.
pulls his hand back,
Mhm, and
and
I
the older
I make eye contact.
you make eye contact with him, and he is completely stunned by the fact that you're even looking at him, and he immediately looks at the oldest, the one with the watches, and she comes back, she goes, madam, do you I have silks. Would you like silks?"
"Tuppence, tuppence, tuppence a bag," and she continues to sing, and now she's not giving out any money. Now it's like, "Nope, I know what you're here," and I'm every time I look and I turn my head, I am making eye contact, and I'm showing, my teeth. I'm smiling at them. I'm being very forward.
Oh, let's take a look at your character sheet.
Uh, this
Let's
this
take a
could
look.
be, this could be like an intimidation?
Yeah, if you want to spend a
Mhm.
point of intimidation, this all goes away.
Yeah, I'm spending a point of intimidation.
Okay.
I smile, I make eye contact, I'm still singing, I'm done handing out money, I know what the ruse is. It's time for the children to leave.
There's this older kid's good because she's obviously given some sort of a signal because all of the other kids disperse. They don't leave as a pack. They came as a pack, they disperse.
Mhm.
Credit where credit's due. You didn't see the signal.
She knows her game.
As you go to your pocket to make sure
I
that little
swear to God.
hand
I
wasn't there,
swear to God.
that little hand
Craig!
wasn't there longer than you thought, you feel the roll of money,
Mhm.
and there's something else in your pocket that wasn't there before, and it feels like a scrap piece of paper.
Picks up the scrap piece of paper and reads it.
You read it.
This message will self-destruct in 3 seconds.
Somehow you recognize the handwriting.
Mm.
It's hers. Chain Bridge, 1600.
I check my phone to check the time.
You've got time. The Chain Bridge is one of the most famous bridges in Budapest. It's a suspension bridge with these beautiful, almost like Amsterdam style wood or
Mm.
wood stone bridge with a suspension that goes between it. over the Danube. It's as gorgeous, without a doubt, the most famous bridge.
Okay.
And you've got several hours for this till this afternoon, but looks like she may have sent you a message.
I don't like it when they use children.
Let's take
the
a quick
children
10-minute
alone.
break. And let's give Layla a little bit of time to decide what she's going to do between now and 4 o'clock this afternoon. We'll be right back.
Sounds good.
So it appears that Rostami sent the children to deliver a message for you to go to a very famous bridge in Budapest at about 4 o'clock this afternoon. That gives you several hours. And we can montage those hours unless we think Layla has things she needs to do before she meets with this Rostami, who maybe she knows, maybe I don't know what's going on here.
Layla doesn't know either, which means I don't know, Craig. But all right. I think Layla's gonna take stock of what she has. She's got time. This is a good
Yep.
time to kind of recenter, figure out what we've got to work with. I've got money in my pocket. I could I can buy whatever it is that I need here. So I've got 3 guns.
Yep.
One is mine. The other 2 are the other people's. I've got 7 silver bullets, 20 regular bullets. If if the bullets if I'm out of bullets, I can always throw the gun at them. Uh, um, my rose water, a picture of this cross that
Mm-hmm.
apparently Rastami knows about. Um, my phone. My bike is way over there. So, I'm so mad about the bike. Uh, well, Sam will take care of that for me, I guess. Um, ooh, I'm gonna check like my pockets and stuff, and any bags and satchels that I have, and see if I have any explosives left.
What
I've
type
used a
of
fair amount.
explosives are we looking for? Are we looking for
Uh,
flashbangs?
I'm looking for flashbangs. Those are
Let's
my
make sure.
favorite.
Yeah, you definitely have 2 of those left.
Cool. All right. So 2 flashbangs. Love that. Uh, let's get into my stash here. It's down. By write, I mean type. 2 flashbangs. Hmm. Let's see. Trying to think if yeah, I'm Craig, Zoe is coming up blank with things to do and fill this time with.
Yeah. All right. So let's
Um
let's think in Layla's head, right? Let's think
mhm,
about what Layla's better than. I think Layla knows the location.
mhm.
Layla knew the handwriting. I think at this point, you're starting to trust your memory,
Mhm.
your muscle memory. So it's not your front of the brain, it's your back of the brain memory.
Right.
So the fact that like you're like, I will never meet this woman is gone, but that's not going to necessarily be enough. So I think that you would spend time scoping the areas around the bridge.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, you would make sure that you understood. Layla would want to make sure she understands what's going to be on this bridge. What's the traffic going to be like on this bridge
Mhm.
at that time of day? So let's feel comfortable with the fact that Layla is not just going to walk onto this
Blindly.
bridge at four
Mhm.
o'clock blindly, that she's going to spend these several hours scoping out the situation in a
Yep.
way that it's likely few people would understand that what she is doing. It's very nonchalant. So there's a couple things that you pick up on. One, you're happy to see that it is a regular traffic of boats under this bridge.
Okay.
The majority of them are sightseeing boats, these day river cruises on the Danube, right? every once in a while there'll be a long barge with some cargo on it. Um, that makes you realize if I ever needed to jump off this bridge, I might be able to land on a boat. There's enough traffic there.
All right, that's good to know.
It's 4 lanes,
Hmm.
2 one direction, 2 the other. 4 o'clock at Budapest, beginning of rush hour. Should be a decent amount of cars there. That's good from a sound perspective. If I'm going to have a conversation with this woman, I can feel safe that there should be enough background noise that
Nobody's going to hear our conversation.
exactly.
Mhm.
Foot traffic. It appears to be mostly tourists. So there does not seem to be a commuter foot traffic that's happening. There's bikes, maybe 2 or 3 a minute that are traveling, but they're off. And the foot traffic is kind of isolated out. And the way the bridge is set up, there's areas for people to stop and look at the Danube and look at the boats going. So if you're okay, I'm going to cut us to 3:38 in the afternoon, or to 3:58 in the afternoon. 2
Sure.
minutes before
Hmm.
you get there, you have exit routes mapped.
Hmm.
You have an understanding of everything that's happening here.
I would like to posit this. The majority of my money was spent on a getaway vehicle, uh, parked at one of the closest ends of the bridge, wherever I need it.
You have rented a very fast car.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
and it's in one of your names.
Cool.
You've got that parked. It is
Mhm.
at worst 90 seconds run away.
'Kay.
At worst.
Mhm.
You get to the bridge. You see the tourists. You see the traffic, the bikes, the cars. And almost like she's glowing because she just stands out to you. But you know she doesn't stand out to anybody else.
Mm.
Dead center, halfway between both sides of the Danube, you can see there's a woman. From where you are, you don't get a sense of young, old. She's dressed in mostly like a dark burgundy maroon. She has a hat, a wide brimmed hat on, and she seems to be leaning at one of the tourist photo op areas, just leaning over and just looking downriver.
I think Layla walks up beside her, not close enough to like close enough within conversation distance, but not within reach. Um, and just look out to where she's looking. Um, and after a little while, uh, some traffic goes by, some people go by. She turns and faces the direction of her and says, "You were right. The pigeons were many and numerous, but seems they didn't really like me."
So the brim of this straw wide, elegant hat tips up, and you see a woman, full gray and white hair that's long and styled and curled into the back. She's got Michelle Pfeiffer cheekbones. She's probably in her early 60s. She could easily pass for late 40s if it wasn't
Mm,
for that gray hair.
damn. She's looking good.
Yeah, she's got traditional Romani clay necklaces
Okay.
that rich people would buy to present themselves as something more than they are, but you look at them and you know immediately they are Romani, they are authentic.
Hmm.
That helps you place her features. She's obviously from Romania. She turns and her accent gives the rest of it away. She says, "You're running out of help."
Well, the help I have is either feeble, turned, or not actually on my side.
Let's be clear, Layla. I'm all that's left now. And the Rosewater is going to stop working.
So, what do you suppose we do?
I'm finished. Can you get yourself out of Budapest?
Of course, I can get myself out of Budapest.
Can you get yourself to Bucharest?
Bucharest? I. You said so yourself. You're all I have left. So you tell me.
This has all been put on the line. To bring you in. If you can't simply cross a few borders in Europe, then people have died in vain. Can you get to Bucharest?
When do you need me there by?
That's up to you, my dear. Your Rosewater is running out. The Sycoran crucifix is here. And she hands you a small key on a keychain. You immediately recognize the address and the name is to a bank. And then the size of the key tells you it is a safety deposit box.
Of course.
The cross is there. It takes 2 keys to open. When you get to Bucharest, use your talents, and you will find my handler. Krina Toma has the other key. She will show you how to use the cross to free you.
How do you spell that?
Crina, Krina Toma, Toma. She will explain to you what our organization does. She will show you how to use the cross, and it will free you.
You sure you need the handler? You're here now. Could save a lot of time and money.
Djokovic is minor.
And Miss Carlyle?
Peanuts, small things. She leans in. Centuries ago, it was not odd to have a family that lived in a castle alone. Nobody made questions. Nobody asked anything. If people went missing, people went missing. This isn't centuries ago. They're now everywhere. They've hidden themselves not in castles. They've hidden themselves in government, in the media, in the shops, in the commerce, on Wall Street. Freeing you from Djokovic is only the first layer. Krina will explain everything to you, and you'll be free of him with her help.
All right. But you and I aren't done.
You
Once
won't
I'm
see me
free,
again.
once I'm free, I'll find you again.
Once you're free, Layla, there's a better chance of me being close to you without dying.
Hmm. Sorry, I've been carrying death with me lately.
Before you finish the last syllable, she turns and starts to walk away.
I think she calls out she goes to call out the code name, but that's she's too far away now. Um, I think she calls out, "Rostami,
She stops but doesn't turn towards you.
thank you."
She turns and she says, Krina will show you how to thank me.
Right. She continued to walk away.
How do we think Layla is going to get herself out of Budapest and to Bucharest, to Romania?
Uh,
What do you
well,
think she would do?
so Zoe doesn't know how far away that is.
It's a
Uh,
plane. It's a plane flight
it's a plane ri okay,
or a
so,
very long train ride. There's a lot of options here.
okay, okay. Well, let's see. She did rent this very, fast car. Um, she's used to long drives, and that ooh, yeah, fun little behind the scenes here. I didn't realize that Layla is a little bit of a control freak until just this moment. She would much rather have full and total control of a vehicle than trust a train or a plane at this point in time. So
That's
I
fair.
think she is going to take that car and drive it, and it's gonna suck, but we're gonna do it.
Layla, you have cash.
Mhm.
You've rented a car in one of your names. If that car ever makes it back to Budapest, it's not going to be because you returned it.
Yep.
Trust is an issue in
Hmm.
general, probably heightened to all of this makes total sense to me. I'd like a bit of a montage of Layla being very smart about this, very smart about the timing, the routes she takes, knowing that potentially every vendor, every tourist is watching.
Hmm.
And let's have her now driving through Eastern Europe, listening to satellite radio, stopping, eating well. Would you get a hotel on the way or would you sleep in the car? What would you do? Because this is going to be a night or two of driving.
Oh, we're sleeping in the car.
The
I mean, I've
first,
slept in a dumpster before. A car is a step up, really.
and it's mostly highway.
Mhm.
And the first time you saw him, he had his thumb out like a hitchhiker, and that's what made him stand out. The second time you saw him was several hundred miles away later. And the fact that this was the second time you saw him registered and caused you to speed up.
I'd love to say that you're hallucinating, Layla, but you're not. You're being followed.
No, you're not being followed. You're
Mm.
passing him on the road. So the third time, I need to know what Layla does. Layla, you're coming It's twilight. You're driving. You see the black figure ahead of you. Your headlights are catching his silhouette again. His long cloak. This is the third time you've seen him in 400 miles. His hand is out. His thumb is up. And there's no doubt in your mind it's the same person you saw 150 miles ago and the same person you saw about 400 miles ago. Do you do anything? Or do you
Oh,
just keep driving?
boy. Oh, that is a question, Craig. Oh, man. All right, let's get into Layla's head for a second. Let's be Layla. We're driving. We have seen this person. All right, we're not crazy.
And let me clarify one thing
Mhm,
real quick before Layla
mhm.
makes a choice here.
Yeah.
You have not seen his face.
Mhm.
You've not seen anything that would identify him, but he is the man that pulled you in, that pulled Sinclair in, that put you through all of this. There's no doubt in your mind, though you could not prove to anybody why you know this. This is Djokovic. The first time you didn't recognize it, the second time you doubted it, the third time as it's coming up, you know this is Djokovic. Stopping is a death sentence.
Yep.
Or brings you back in the fold.
But I want revenge on Pieter. I want I want to give Gigi his justice. Ugh. Ooh, this is a sticky situation. I think ultimately because of her training, because of all of the years that she spent in MI6 and all of the hellish things she has been made to do and all of the all of the emotions flood in at once. She gives them 5 minutes and then she just lets them go. Because if she makes a decision here based off of rage, off of revenge, off of um, you know, uh, closure, just trying to end this at this moment, that's going to jeopardize being free from this person, um, possibly furthering her role in all of this. From what Rastami said, it's like, yeah, they're not in castles anymore. They're in politics. They're in government. They're in all of they're in trade. They're everywhere, and I can't stop them, the bigger fish, if I go after this little minnow because I'm angry from what he did to me and my friends. So she lets all of that come in, has a debate with herself, maybe sheds a tear in Sinclair's name, in Pieter's name, and continues to drive.
As you pass him this third time, for the first time, because he didn't do it the first pass and the second pass, this third pass, his head comes up and you see his face. And Layla, he can read you. Is there any message that your face is sending to him as you pass him?
You will get yours. I am inevitable.
And that message was sent loud and clear. Your memories have started to come back. You've reached in this drive more clarity. The fog is starting to go away. Maybe 3 miles past after you've left him, you realize, "Oh, he heard me because
Good.
he blinked, and they don't have to blink."
Good.
We go to black. We have a small return in a sterile room full of small oblong doors. We see Layla's hand with a key going inside of one lock. We see another woman's hand that we don't know inserting a similar key into another lock. We see a drawer sliding out, and on a red pillow, we see the exact cross that we saw in the picture. We're going to go to credits. We'll talk on the other side.
Ugh, okay. Ah. All right.
So you missed the what from Zoe because I told her that's the end of this one on one. This was the final episode. That is
Ah,
how we are closing this out. And I'm going to tell everybody watching this is the plan and we hope it happens, right? You just never know. But the plan is to do two more of these one-on-ones with two other players. Um I don't know how it could be this good, but I also tell you that I've handpicked the two other players, and I think that if anybody can stand toe to toe with Zoe, it's these two other players. They also are going to be, hopefully, if they survive by the end of their one-on-ones, will be also be brought into the organization. And then my plan is Avengers style, we're going to bring these three Knights Black agents together and do a proper Knights Black agents with three players. So um I need to know what your thoughts are,
I
Zoe.
feel like I have watched a like Netflix series and I'm like on episode 6 and I'm like, "Oh man, what happens next?" And like I've just been like letting it run like how you do. You don't even touch the remote. You just keep like letting the episodes play. And then you get the screen that shows up and it tells you like your suggestions. And that's when you realize like, "Wait, that's it?
There's
What?"
no
And
episode
and you're
7.
like me and you go to the episodes and it's like, "No, I've watched all of them. Oh shit. What do I do now?" You can't end it like that. What the hell? And then I'm like going on like Wikipedia and like looking for like the next season. Like when is it coming out? Is it out already in Japan? Like um I had an absolute blast.
I'm glad.
Again, this is like my very first one-on-one and I really enjoy this format. There's a lot there was a big hurdle in which the fact that it is only you and I, and
Yeah.
so I do get sort of caught up like you witnessed tonight. I got a little caught up and I'm like, I don't know what to do.
But I gotta tell you, Zoe, and I wasn't surprised that you did this, but this is something that I think is important for players that are watching right now. Don't be don't be too proud. Say, and you did this. Literally, you said it, like Zoe doesn't know what she would do with this meetup on this bridge, but I
Mhm.
think Layla would.
Yeah.
And lean into that, right? Because that's the playing as character or player as player. Like there's an entire philosophical discussion to happen here,
Mhm.
but there's nothing wrong with saying Zoe's not a super spy.
I'm not I don't know. Layla knows. I don't. And that's the fun thing is like I know that the character Layla, she's smarter than I am.
Yeah.
And sometimes that comes through and it's a wonderful thing when that happens because I'm just sitting here like, wow. Wow, Layla. All right. You really gonna do that? Okay. Okay. Like
And
the flashbang, that was entirely Layla. Meanwhile, I'm over here like Zoe. I'm like, girl, that's not gonna work.
and that and it's really okay to do that, players, is to lean in on your GM and go, GM, uh I'm not a
Help.
barbarian, right? But I think that Joe the barbarian would know something about the situation. What would that be? Lean into that. I think that's great.
Mhm.
So the one thing that's interesting here is when we started this, Zoe, this started with something very simple. It started with two things. One, me desperately wanting to play Knights Black Agents because that's been sitting on my shelf, calling to me. Um, the pedigree behind this game is untouchable. The game just needed me to run it. And then I got getting to know you and becoming friends with you, playing with you. I'm just like, and I know who I want to run this with. Two-thirds of the way through us playing, I realized I want to do this again with other people, and I also want to run a quote unquote proper Knights Black Agent. So that's where the stupid Avengers idea came together for me. But if, and you'll appreciate this, I think, as a GM, if I was pulling three players together and saying, let's make characters for a game of Knights Black Agents, what would happen is those three characters would go, I'll be the explosives guy. I'll be the infiltration guy. I'll be
I'll be the
the
face.
hacker or the face, all right?
Mhm.
You were built as, by design, a kind of a good all-around super spy without a specific speciality. So I guess what I'm wondering is we've got two more characters out there right now
Mhm.
who haven't been created yet. Is there something that you would say Layla's got that covered? So maybe as those two other players build their characters and start to eventually team up with Layla, is there something that you now think, having been in Layla's skin for 5 episodes, is there something you think Layla's got covered?
Layla has the there is a proper word for it, but it's when the shit hits the fan, like when shit is going down, Layla's got it. Layla has plans laid out. She's got contingencies. That's what it is. Layla is the contingency master. She has exit routes mapped. She's got getaway cars ready. She's got everything in place so that if something goes wrong, it's gonna go wrong in her favor. She is, I guess you could call her the control freak, but
Mhm.
that that is Layla. She's got everything down pat. Even when she is surprised, it's not for very long,
Yeah.
and she can MacGyver her way out of a situation. Let's look at the hospital scene. I had a flight suit. I didn't need a flight suit.
Yep.
I had one, and I used it.
So, knowing that then, if Layla was charged with finding 2 more agents to help her take down this conspiracy,
Mhm.
um, and we don't wanna limit it to 2, what are some things that maybe future players should think about for specialties? What are some things that Layla would love to have on her team?
Layla would love to have a face, someone who knows how to talk to people, understands situations just by a quick snapshot of a person. So, on the bridge with Rastami, um, while Layla is a little bit slower on the uptake and she's like, okay, cool, no, this is a typical thing. I want the face to look at the situation, look at the person specifically, and go, she's good. Don't worry about it. Or no, that's bad. This is bad.
Her favorite food's mac and cheese.
Yeah, favorite food's mac and cheese.
Yeah.
You could tell she drinks on the weekends.
So it sounds like you're looking for like almost superhuman emotional intelligence,
Yeah.
micro micro expression reader, just
Yeah,
okay.
definitely somebody who's well versed in body language, and the subtle tells that people give. Um, the really like the pattern finder.
Yeah.
And the other person could be the explosives expert, could be the heat. They have the guns, they have the knives, they've got weapons, they've got
The hurt.
charges, they've got everything. Like where Layla has all the contingencies and all the plans, all of those plans involve a duffel bag full of guns. And it's for that person.
So maybe for the players that follow and end up meeting up with Layla, it would be incredible to have somebody with very sophisticated social, interpersonal, emotional intelligence,
Mhm.
and someone who can bring the fucking pain.
Bring the pain, bring it.
And and we know Layla's got the plan. And between the three of you, it's a good thing you're not a vampire.
Yeah, it's a real good thing I'm not a vampire.
and and just so you know, Zoe, there'll be a little time that's passed
Mhm.
before doing it, and Karina Toma is going to become your handler. She is going to be the one that brings you into Night's Black Agents, so you will become a member of it. The play that we have with the other two players will, again, if they survive, will culminate in them also becoming Night's Black Agents. And when you come back to us in Night's Black Agents, it'll be the three of you on your first mission. So that's the game plan.
That'll be so cool.
Now I reserve the right
Mhm.
to swindling you into playing other games here on the channel.
Mhm.
Because if this
As you
channel
should.
has, yeah, this channel has a lot, but not enough Zoe. But for those that are watching, they've heard this several times. This is episode 5, but they need to hear it one more time. If I want more Zoe, where do I go?
You would go to the writer's room. That is a Seventh Sea podcast. You can hear me as the narrator run for my cast and crew. Lovely pirate adventures from the world of Seventh Sea, a Chaosium game. Was once John Wick Presents, now is no longer. And also on the Storyteller Squad, there is a crossover episode where we play Monster of the Week. And
I
we
don't think I
run.
know about this. What the
Yes!
hell?
Sorry. Yes, so we are on the Storyteller Squad. There's a crossover episode where we play in Salem, Massachusetts, which is a hop and a skip right where I belong. And we play at Monster of the Week, which is a fantastic game run by the
Such a great game.
wonderful Natalie Fuinha, incredible keeper. And I'm going to put those links in wherever
I will
when it
add them. I will
yeah,
add
you
them to
got him,
the
you
YouTube
got him.
video. Yep,
We'll
I will
do the
add.
thing.
What do you think of Monster of the Week?
I okay, I haven't played enough of it, but from what I have played, I want to play more. I do like Monster of the Week. I will say that I was, playing a, sort of vampire, but not really, an immortal. I was playing the immortal, and,
Great
it's
playbook.
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. If you haven't played it, go play it at least once. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Michael's made a great game there, and there's actually there's a new version of the game that just came out, and there's a Codex of Worlds that just came out. And
Ooh,
Zoe,
yes. Mhm.
Codex of Worlds is phenomenal because what it does is it adds kind of a a crew sheet for the team, and I'll talk to you about it off camera. It's really clever.
Oh,
What Michael did is really,
okay.
really clever. But I need to know, is this your first Powered by the Apocalypse game?
Yes,
And how are you handling that? Because that's a very different thing than something like Seven Seas or Night's Black Agents.
it
How are
is.
you handling moves and the whole PBTA system? What do you, it had to have been weird.
So it is very weird. I have played D&D. I will say, and this is a hot take, I don't like it. It's not great.
You're on the right channel.
There's so many other games, guys. So many other games.
So good.
S- and uh Night's Black Agents was a little difficult for me to understand, but as soon as we got like the fact that I am a super spy, I can do these things. All I have to do is spend points and then add numbers to rolls. I'm like, oh, this is super easy. Boom, done. Um, the moves it was a little tricky, and the luck. Uh,
Mm,
luck was tricky for me because, like, to me, that's a mechanic that you want to
right.
have a lot of, but you actually don't want to have a lot of luck. um, and I do enjoy the move set list. And I'm a big fan of games that um at least for that system kind of give you a sheet to kind of like, okay, this is a thing that you can get, and then this is a thing that you can do,
Yes.
and then you've got this many things based off of that. And I'm like, okay, cool, I understand all of this. um and then the experience system is like, oh, you could choose things from other playbooks, and you could like
Yeah.
really like customize. And I'm like, oh,
The advancement is great.
I love customization. You'll find me at Baldur's Gate just 3 hours in, just at the character creation screen.
Yeah.
So but yeah, it's a really neat system.
One of the things that I love, and there's people that love Powered by the Apocalypse, there's people that don't. I'm somebody who really enjoys the system, though I gotta tell you that I also I tend to like the next generation more, things like Blades in the Dark and things like that, where they've taken the basics of PBTA and advanced them. And quite frankly, Michael Sands has done that with Monster of the Week. Though if there's one thing though that people who design games need to steal from Apocalypse World is when Zoe sat down to play Monster of the Week, and she either filled out and created her character or was handed her character sheet. Everything she needs to know about the game she's about to play is on that character sheet. And that is something that I've always loved about Powered by the Apocalypse is everything is there on the character sheet, and it makes it a great gateway game as a result. You don't know what you do, look at your character sheet, it's right there. Everything you need to know, and it's absolutely fantastic. Go check out Writer's Room on your favorite podcatcher. It's absolutely wonderful. I'm gonna track down this Monster of the Week thing. I did not like. I'm a little mad at you right now, just so
Oh,
you know, because I didn't know about this.
I'm so sorry.
Um, and stay tuned for the next one-on-one Night's Black Agents so we can meet the second team member of this Avengers.
Ooh.
Zoe, thanks so much for doing this with me.
Hey, anytime, anytime, Craig. I also haven't played Blades in the Dark, so let's play Blades in the Dark.
So here, all right. Here's the thing. So I've
Mm,
already been pulled in to another. There's another podcast that has asked
mm.
me to run Blaze in the Dark for them, and
Hell
I'm
yeah,
doing that. I'm doing that next month.
love that.
If you want to grab some Writers Room people, get me 4 players, and I will run Blaze in the Dark on Writers Room. I would love to do that.
Okay,
So you just let me know.
all right,
Cheers.
good. Be safe and well, everybody.